Hey gang, welcome back to Inverted Pursuits Laboratory. I'd like to go ahead and preface that everything is fine. I'm fine, the vehicle's fine, it's behind me, but this thing did try to light itself on fire and got pretty close. So before I show you the vehicle, I want to tell you kind of what happened and how I got myself into this situation. So when we bought this vehicle last fall, we noticed that there was an issue where the brake on the front caliper would seize up. It didn't happen very often. We learned we could just downshift and it wasn't that big a deal. We've been working on finding what parts we want to replace them with. We just haven't bought them and done it yet. So I went to my girlfriend's graduation party yesterday. So this all happened yesterday morning for me at like 9 a.m. And I'm about 5 miles away from her house. She doesn't live but 25 minutes from me. So it's not really that far to go in the Pulse. She'd asked me to drive it over so that she could have it there, since I wasn't able to take it down to graduation because I didn't trust getting it that far, nor did anyone else think I could make it. And I'm glad that I didn't try that, because I would have had this issue on the road somewhere. But yeah, 5 miles from her house, I started to notice there were some issues with shifting. I couldn't accelerate as well. I thought it was just I was in the wrong gear, the clutch was sticking or something, and so I just dropped it down into a lower gear and was able to torque through it. Not the best thing to do. And then the last about half mile is on a gravel road. And so I'm slowing down on the gravel road, getting ready to come up into her driveway, and the moment I make the turn into her driveway, the vehicle just dies on me. Completely dead, I can't restart it. And I'm thinking, okay, I knew it was getting a little hot because I've been watching the engine temperature was floating around 200 and wasn't wanting to go down, even with the fan on the radiator. And I look out behind me and I see that there is smoke coming out from underneath the bottom of the vehicle and the engine bay. And my first thought is, oh crap, something's on fire. And I've seen pictures of what happens when these things burn down, so I was out of that vehicle fast. And she doesn't exactly have a short driveway. It's quite a distance from the edge of their property and the road up to the house and barn. And so I'm booking it up to the barn to get a fire extinguisher, water, anything. And her dad pretty quickly just tosses me a fire extinguisher, and I book it into one of their utility vehicles and get back down the hill. And as I'm going back down the hill, I'm realizing that there's now smoke also coming out from under the front wheel, which tells me that it's a brake issue, most likely. So my brakes must have seized up and actually caused not just the front brake to seize, but the rear brake to seize as well. So first thing I do is just douse the front wheel well with the fire retardant from the fire extinguisher, and then I come and I pop open the side hatch access door, which I'll just point the side hatch this door right here, and just dumped fire retardant into the engine bay. It stopped smoking about 2 minutes later, but I also had to deal with there's a now large cloud of smoke coming from the fire retardant, which was yellow, and so it was just taking a little bit to figure out what was what, but the fire retardant was guaranteed going to keep things from burning. Definitely thinking I need to get a fire extinguisher to keep in this vehicle for future. But it finally cooled down enough, and I was actually able to get it the rest of the way up their driveway to the house and park it. And that's when I realized just how hot everything had gotten. So we're going to go ahead and show you the vehicle now. So it's really not that bad. There's just fire retardant on everything. I've cleaned off this side mostly, but like there's the fire retardant just coating the vehicle, and I've tried to clean as much of it as I can, and it's just going to take me a while to get it all out. Like it's everywhere. But here is our rear caliper and rotor, and you can see right there that exact spot. Let's make sure we're focused. Yeah, that is where the caliper seized to the rotor and kind of heat treated it. So that's not good. But the rotor's also slightly warped. It makes it sound every time it goes by, and I've been keeping an eye on that. The fire retardant, when I dumped it under the front wheel well, Also killed the horn and the speedometer, so I have to figure out that. Here's the horn coated in fire retardant. So I've actually gone ahead and replaced the horn in the vehicle with one I bought with the intent to replace it. So sound warning, I've actually got a pretty good horn in there now. But I don't know how visible it is, but the entire car is just coated in dust and fire retardant. And you can actually see here, there's a yellow ring all the way around. That's fire retardant that came up from the front wheel well and actually seeped its way all the way up. So I've got a lot of cleaning to do on this vehicle to get the fire retardant out of everything and off all the paint, as well as figure out why the speedometer is broken and then replace the brake lines. So the upside to that all is that I've got a lot more content on fixing a pulse coming out soon. So keep an eye out, as that will soon be coming. And if you've got any recommendations for dealing with the brakes seizing up, please let me know. So thanks for watching, guys.